Hey guys, it's Stevie. I know it has been quite a long time since I've been on this YouTube channel, but I really want to come back and start completely fresh, and I'm really excited to do that. So as you can tell, this is going to be like a book related channel, so I'm very excited to show you. Today is going to be, I'm just going to start off with like my 2021 favorite reads, and I'm so excited to show you. So let's just get right on in. I will probably eventually do a separate video that explains why I've been gone or even give you a little bit of a summary. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So first up, one of my absolute favorites of last year, one of the first main books I read and heard about to start reading was Serpent and Dove. I adore this. As you can tell, I love it so much. I'm rereading it. I loved this book so much. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. But it's about a girl named Lou who is a witch, and basically in here, the whole story is about how thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, and she basically, to save her own skin, she has to marry a witch hunter, and basically it tells their whole story, and I adored this book. This book was absolutely amazing. I recommend it to anyone. Next up is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I adored this book. I read it when I was down in Florida with my boyfriend and his family when we were on vacation last year. I had bought it at the bookstore and immediately started reading it. Like, I didn't waste any time. I think I read this book in less than 2 days. I adored this book. Basically, it is about a boy who is a transgender and is a transgender. I'm sorry, is transgender, and basically wants his family to accept him. I think it's a brujo. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Um, and basically he is trying to find out who murdered his cousin, and when he is trying to figure that out, he accidentally brings the high school bad boy back from the dead. So basically, he's just trying to figure out how to go through everything and fix everything. It was 5 out of 5 stars, for sure. This is another one that I read when I was getting ready to go on my trip to Florida. I read this right before and during the car ride. I finished it like before we even got to Florida. I absolutely adored One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is tied for first place with Serpent and Dove. I absolutely adored this book. It's about a girl named August. She is a bisexual and she moves to New York hoping for this wonder-filled life, but it ends up not being how she expects it. And she meets a girl named Jane on the subway, and she completely changes her life because Jane is originally from the 1970s and she is displaced in time. And basically the two, obviously you can tell it's a romance. They end up falling in love but are trying to get Jane back to her original time. This was a 5 out of 5 stars. Again, I have a hard time trying to figure out if this is my number 1 or number 2 book. It's very challenging. Next up is Chile Devious by Maureen Johnson. I adored this book. I cannot wait to read other books by her. This series was fantastic. I'm not really a like mystery thriller, murder mystery kind of reader. I love that in like movies and TV shows, especially like Criminal Minds is like one of my favorite TV shows out there. But for some reason with reading, it's not really my thing. But Maureen Johnson absolutely blew me away with this series. It's about a girl named Stevie who goes to Ellingham Academy to try and solve a murder mystery case from centuries before her. And it's even better because they have the storyline from Stevie's perspective and during that time, and back when the murder mystery even happened. I don't know why I said murder mystery, but you know what I mean. And the reason they are so caught up on this mystery is the murder leaves a note signed Truly Devious, and it just throws everyone for a loop. This book was amazing. I highly recommend it. Next up, we have Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This one took me a little while. I had started reading it and I was in a really bad mindset with reading at the time. So I put it down and eventually picked it back up, and I absolutely adore this storyline. I've already read Arch Enemies and I cannot wait to read Supernova. I am scared though, because I heard Supernova. I've heard it made people cry and it just destroys them. So I'm terrified, but I'm so excited. Um, Basically, it's in this world of superheroes and supervillains, and the anarchists are the supervillains. At least that's how they're viewed. And we have the renegades, who are the superheroes who protect the city. Basically, like you see in any other comic book series, you have the good guys and the bad guys. Nova is on the side of the anarchist who was raised against the renegades. She had a very bad experience when she was a kid, and she feels betrayed by them, and basically she and the anarchists want to bring them down out of power. And Adrian is on the renegade side. He is the son of two of the main renegades superheroes, and he has a secret side. He is the Sentinel, and is basically trying to figure out how to live in a world in two separate roles. And Nova eventually joins the Renegades to try to bring them down from the inside. Next up is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and oh my god, I cannot believe it took me this long to read the series. I'm not entirely finished with it. I'm starting with the first 3 of the Mortal Instruments, and I'm reading the Infernal Devices, and then I'm reading the last 3 of the Mortal Instruments. So we're making our way there. I'm trying to read a book or 2 a month until we get to the 3rd book in I think it's not the Wicked Powers, the Last Hours. Sorry. Until Chain of Thorin comes out in November. And I'm so excited because I can't wait to get through all of this and be there for the first release. For me, anyway. I know a lot of people have been with the series forever. I'm a little late to the game. I don't even think I have to give a synopsis of this series, but I will in case if anybody is new to this like I was. I had heard of it when I was younger, but I didn't really care. I was one of those hipsters who were like, oh, it's popular, it's really popular, I want nothing to do with it. It's stupid to me. I don't know, I was weird. But basically, it's about a girl named Clary whose mother gets kidnapped and she is thrust into the world of the Shadowhunters, who hunt demons and pretty much anything you can think of, honestly. And she is trying to get with the Shadowhunters to get her mom back. It's basically all it is. And like I was saying before, I have read The Infernal Devices. I have not finished the last one, though. That is the next one on my list. But I did absolutely adore Clockwork Angel, again, by Cassandra Clare. This one I read. This was basically what got me through my sickness. I had pneumonia in December. I was out of work for like 3 weeks while we were trying to figure out what was going on for like the first week. This book, and another book I will show you later, which I will let you know, basically got me through my sickness. It's what kept me sane. And honestly, it's so hard to tell right now if Infernal Devices or The Mortal Instruments is my favorite, because I absolutely adore them. But it's hard to also say that because there's so many other series that Cassandra Clare has come out with. So I'm going to wait to make that decision. But basically, Clockwork Angel, if anybody doesn't know, is before The Mortal Instruments takes place, and it's about a girl who kind of has the same situation as Clary, but her brother gets kidnapped, and she is trying to figure out what's happening with her, or with him, I'm sorry. And she is trying to get her brother back, and, well, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much Mortal Instruments just with her brother. Kind of. I guess. I don't know. Next up is the other book that got me through my sickness, was The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This is the only holiday book I got through last year. I tried, but again, with me being sick, I didn't really focus on anything, and I was so excited about Clockwork Angel that I didn't really want to read any of the book. It actually took me forever to get through this, as much as I adored this book, because I was so into Clockwork Angel. I read that book so fast, but at the same time, I had to slow myself down because I wanted to take my time with it because I adored it that much. I almost reread it right after I read it. But The Afterlife of Holly Chase, I am so happy I bought this book and read it last year. It was another recommendation, like several that I have in my pile, was from Emma Books. I will leave her links down below in case I didn't already say that. Because she is like one of my favorite booktubers out there. She is amazing. She has so many good recommendations for YA if anybody is looking for them. Again, I will leave her links down there. But The Afterlife of Holly Chase is basically a retelling of A Christmas Carol. But the girl who is going through it doesn't believe it, and she ends up dying. And she is reborn, well, technically reborn, and she is thrust into the life of Project Scrooge. And she has to help future Scrooges try to get back on track. And like how at the end of pretty much, I think, all of the Christmas Carol stories out there, they go back and they realize what they've done wrong and fix things. So basically, she is trying to help all these, Scrooges get back on track and get better. And she ends up falling for one of the new Scrooges because he's so young. She's used to having so many Scrooges that are like older and decrepit and like that kind of stuff. So she ends up falling for him and breaks so many rules. And basically, she's trying to deal with all that and the struggles and trying to figure out how not to mess things up for herself. These Feathered Flames was an absolutely remarkable storyline that I read last year. I got it from the Bookish shop. It was my first ever subscription box. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm so excited for the second book that comes out in the series that's coming out this year. I want it so bad. I'm so excited for it. Alexandra Overy did an absolutely remarkable job with the storyline. Basically, it's about two twins that were born. One was left in the castle to be raised in the royalty and learn her role, whereas the other one was taken. She is the Firebird. She has to learn how to control her powers, and one day as they get older, her powers go out of control, and she realizes that it's because the queen is dead and a new ruler has to be chosen. So she has to go back to the castle to the sister that she knows absolutely nothing about and figure out what to do on how to keep controlling her powers, try to figure out how it works because they have become so strong. She's trying to figure out how to control us and interact with her sister and figure out who's going to be the new ruler. And let me say chaos ensues. Chaos ensues. Last, but certainly not least, is Unchosen by Catherine Blair. This is another one that I got from the Bookish shop. I think this one was just a book that they were selling. I don't think that they were doing it as a subscription box, from what I know. I picked this up. It was like one of the last couple that they had, because I read the synopsis and saw the cover that they were doing for it, and I fell in love, and I had to have it. I absolutely had to have it, and I'm so happy I did, because no one talks about this book. It's so upsetting. This is so underrated. Like, I cannot wait to read other Catherine Blair books. It was absolutely spectacular. It's about a girl who is the youngest sibling out of 3, and she has a crush on her oldest sibling's boyfriend. And she is one, obviously, as a lot of people may know, the youngest sibling doesn't really get a lot of rep. They are the most underrated, they aren't really seen, and that is definitely her. And they are thrust into the world, kind of like The Walking Dead, kind of similar, but it's not zombies. It is called The Crimson, and it is transmitted through eyesight. So you cannot look at anyone who is infected, or else you will become infected. And when the boy that she is crushing on gets kidnapped, she has to go through and save him. And basically, her sister is the chosen one who could possibly end all of this, and she claims herself as the chosen one to try and save her sister and the man that she loves. So that is all that I have for you guys. I am so excited to be coming back. I'm nervous because I'm not very good at this, so I'm sorry if I was stuttering and stumbling my way through this. Sometimes I have a really hard time expressing what I want to say. and my cat is playing with the Christmas tree I need to put away, so hold on. Look at my sweet baby. She's so cute. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, maybe share it, maybe subscribe. That'd be great, because I cannot wait to do more videos. It's definitely going to be more bookish, but I might do some other things here and there, like clothing-wise, maybe makeup-wise. I don't know. It all just depends. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.